From Model Latina Season 2, and I am here in New York City for the screening of Passport. I am here with the Nicolita from Nicolita Swimwear.
Since I can remember when I was little, I've always wanted to go back to Cuba. We all come from somewhere, and my story is definitely a personal one of a Cuban American wanting to go back to her parents' homeland to learn the essence of what it means to be Cuban. This is my ticket to Cuba.
She is an amazing designer, first and foremost.
She models her designs on her heritage, and I think it's really inspiring.
My whole branding and marketing and image is about Cuba and that nostalgic feeling during the 1940s and 50s. It was an important step for me personally to go back, to be able to reconnect with my roots of being Cuban and why I built this brand.
I've always grown up all my life thinking that I'm never allowed to go back. It was a mystery to me. I knew Cuba from old photographs, and to be able to really go there, it was burning inside of me. I knew this was the right time for me to go, bring my family. It was a very difficult thing to talk to my parents about, but I think at the root of it, they understood how important it was for my sister and I to make this journey back and to preserve our traditions and our culture.
The most difficult part of the journey was convincing her parents to go with her.
My parents were both born in Cuba.
They left 50 years ago, just as the revolution started, and because the political situation just got worse in Cuba, they never returned.
When they left, it was the land of romance, this amazing time to be alive in Cuba. Every year I kept telling my parents, we gotta go to Cuba. I mean, come on, let's just sneak in there. Like, what is it that's holding you guys back? My dad, no, we're not going. I mean, you know what, we left there for a reason, Nicole, you don't understand.
It's a series that explores multi-generational roots and where you're from.
It is a story that all of us have as Americans, whether you're Latino or not. Everyone is an immigrant in this country.
Wow, I'm really, really here in Cuba. There's the ocean, there's the Malecón.
This is everything that I've ever thought it could be, and I'm here.
The Latino population here in America is very new. Their parents have retained the culture, and it's important to retain that culture. So this is an opportunity to actually go back and walk in the same streets, to go through the same parks and houses, right where your parents were and where they grew up.
I went through my life over here. Went back in time, and it was very, very, very nice.
They're back where they were like 49 years ago. They were able to relive these childhood moments. Like, that's what this whole trip was about. Today we got to go to my dad's cousin's house.
We got to meet a side of my family that I never met before.
I have been thinking about coming back, and we were always scared about this moment. And I knew it was going to be very emotional, which has been very emotional. But I'm glad I have done this.
It was healing. It was very powerful for my parents to be able to go back to their homes.
She always was inspired by her parents' life back in Cuba, and she had this dream to go back and do a photo shoot in Cuba.
I went into the choosing for the fashion show and the Nicolita girl with the perception that I was gonna see dark hair girls like me. I had blonde Cubans, brunette Cubans, dark-skinned Cubans, light-skinned Cubans. It just made me realize, you know, Cubans don't just come in one package.
Like, I needed this for me internally so I could reconnect with like my roots of being Cuban and being Latina.
I'm connecting to something that I now can pass on to my daughter. We found our home in a way. It's not about feeling Cuban, it's about finding the Cuban inside of you. And we found our Cuban.
When you see the movie, it's just a very, very personal but amazingly universal story.
Your history is who you are. No one can take that away from you. And to be able to preserve your history, your culture, your traditions, to bring that and pass that down to your children, that's what's going to keep your culture alive.
We're going to continue to have new episodes of Passport. We're going to go to other countries. with different people. We're going to go to Colombia, Panama.
Can't wait for all of you guys to watch Passport, the search for Nicolita.
This was an amazing experience. Everyone, tune in and watch the screening of Passport. Thank you so much for joining us.